Let's now shift our attention to what is happening in Kenya. Chinese loans, it appears, are drowning the nation. The Kenyan president is seeking another loan of about $1 billion from China to complete a stalled road construction project, shifting his earlier stance when his coalition had accused the former president of excessive borrowing during last year's election campaign. Now, China has been accused of laying a debt trap all over the world, where it lends money to developing nations and then moves in to seize its assets. Now, unlike the Asian nations like Sri Lanka, Pakistan and Nepal, who have fallen under the Chinese spell, at least about 22 low-income African nations are either already experiencing a debt crisis or are at significant risk of experiencing one. Now, according to Treasury figures, Chinese loans account for roughly about 64% of Kenya's current stock of bilateral external debt and only about 17% of the external public debt. Multilateral borrowing is almost double the bilateral total, with the World Bank being Kenya's largest single external creditor. And according to reports, Chinese loans, which stand at more than $8 billion, were used by the former Kenyan president Uhuru Kenyatta's government to construct infrastructure like roads. But many of these projects have since stalled after contractors left over unpaid bills, putting pressure on the incumbent President William Ruto to complete them. Enough plans to knock on China's doors for a longer repayment period while seeking $1 billion to complete the pending infrastructure projects.
For a very long time, we have looked at this as a problem. For you guys went all over the place.
Now, incidentally, President Ruto's United Nations address has sparked a lot of anxiety. He's called on the global community to develop debt restructuring initiative for poorer nations. Investors are now concerned about Kenya's capacity to refinance its quickly approaching foreign obligations.
The global community must therefore develop a debt restructuring.
International investors have requested returns of more than 18% to invest in Kenya's Euro bond, which matures in June 2024, indicating the heightened fears of a government default. The rates in Kenya's 10-year Euro bond range from anywhere from 18.4 to 18.7% last week. And this illustrates the increased risk that investors are in fact placing on Kenya's short-term debt. Meanwhile, Kenya has guaranteed investors to refinance a sizable $2 billion of debut 10-year Euro bond. In the current fiscal year, which ends in June 2024, Kenya faces record high foreign repayment expenditure, highlighted by Eurobond payment and also the money that is owed to the Chinese lenders, primarily the Exim Bank of China, even as the Ruto administration counts on the full implementation of tax increases. The big question, of course, is, can Kenya eliminate the prospect of a sovereign default? WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.